Welcome, football fans. Buckle up for another hard-hitting episode of Let's Talk XFL, the only podcast solely focused on the XFL. From a sunny Southwest Florida studio, here's your host, Michael Lathrop.
Hello, football fans. This is episode 24, Information Overload. This episode is brought to you by our friends at Royal Retros by 503 Sports. Royal Retros are the king of throwbacks. Royal Retros by 503 Sports provides a line of merchandise from legendary defunct leagues such as the XFL 1.0. If you have always wanted to get yourself a quality Las Vegas Outlaws He Hate Me or Los Angeles Extreme Tommy Maddox jersey, perhaps even an OG XFL's team's t-shirt, we have you covered. Simply click on the link provided in the show's description and notes and enter the code LETSTALKXFL at checkout to receive 10% off your purchase. What can I say? The XFL seems to be on a roll. In consecutive weeks, the league has delivered. This week alone, there have been back-to-back-to-back days that the league unveiled announcements. So let's get to it. On April 7th, XFL co-owner Gerry Cardinale of Redbird Capital participated in the Bloomberg Wealth Summit. During Cardinale's 21-minute segment, host Jason Kelly inquired about the XFL. Here is the clip of that segment.
So, you brought up something interesting that I want to build on, which is this notion of the content, the entertainment value, and all of that. You and I were talking backstage, and you made me think about something in a very different way. Talk to me about the XFL, because that to me is one of the most exciting things that you're working on. I think you would agree. You've got some big name partners involved with you. Talked about household names. Help us understand how that fits into the current mindset and also the current opportunity.
Look, the XFL, for me, the investing, I've been doing this for 30 years, and the XFL and the stuff I do today in sports and media is really a continuum of 30 years of investing, right? And I think it's just harder for anybody to show up today from a standing start and start investing in these sectors. The XFL is so unique. It's an opportunity to create a live event media company with the potential to be global, rooted in legitimate football. Most people look at the XFL and see, it's a spring football league. Dwayne Johnson looks at it very differently. Dwayne Johnson, the great thing about Dwayne is if you said to him, maybe he's the biggest celebrity in the world, phenomenal human being. If you said to him, what's your one regret? First of all, I would think Dwayne should have no regrets, right? If you ask him what his one regret is not making the NFL. And he remembers back to when he didn't make the NFL and he went to the Canadian Football League, and then, he basically went into wrestling because he didn't make it there. That is a passion for him that he wants to now revisit and make things available to fans and players particularly. So his whole ethos, what to me was, look, we should look at this a little differently. Obviously, we're not the NFL, but there's a need. We did the work, and there's absolutely a desire and a need for spring football, right? So there's no binary risk there. Then the question becomes, with a partnership with someone like Dwayne and Danny Garcia, can we create a new version of the way people think about leagues and sports, where it's rooted in true live event entertainment? You put a very credible and an NFL quality type product on the field, but you put the fan and you put the players at the center of all of that. And then you have an alliance, a partnership with the NFL like we've established, where there is actually a synergy where some of the things that we're going to be doing experimentally can be things that the NFL adopts, and then, it helps the whole ecosystem. So I'm fascinated by this. I think it is as far as I'm probably ever going to go to something like this.
Right.
But I'm very proud of the fact that, with everything going on in the world, and you talk about the convergence of sports, media, and culture, this is the first league in history owned by a diverse woman and an African American. And we know in traditional professional sports, that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And so that's also something right out of the gates that, in our own little way, we're kind of advancing the ball in so many important areas that reinforce that convergence.
Although this clip does not contain any new developments, it does show that despite Redbird Capital's large portfolio, the XFL is of interest even among the super wealthy. Such interest could bode well for the XFL as it seeks to build partnerships. I view this as an encouraging segment. Then, on April 11th, the XFL announced its exclusive partnership with the NFL Alumni Academy. According to the press release, the agreement's goal is to enhance the football ecosystem by combining their scouting and training expertise to develop the next top players in the game while offering more playing opportunities in professional football. The two entities will work together in identifying the highest caliber players to train at the NFL Alumni Academy. Once players complete the NFL Alumni Academy upon the conclusion of the National Football League season, each player will automatically receive an opt-in XFL contract. XFL President Russ Brandon addressed the partnership by saying the following: "This is a monumental partnership not only for the XFL, but for the entire football ecosystem. The NFL Alumni Academy has found great success over the past 2 years training and mentoring up-and-coming players, many of whom have gone on to play in the NFL. We are collaborating to create another avenue for opportunity for players to showcase their talent. We are completely aligned in our player-centric philosophy, and we're eager to continue to explore the bounds of this partnership." The executive director of the NFL Alumni Academy also commented on the partnership with the following: "What makes a league successful is its players, which is why we take a holistic approach to player development at the NFL Alumni Academy, ensuring they have skills and resources needed to excel both on and off the field. We are really excited for this strategic partnership with the XFL, which will have a positive ripple effect across the entire football landscape. We want to thank our marketing agency, Wave Sports and Entertainment, for bringing the NFL Alumni Academy and XFL together for this unique initiative." For those of you who may not be aware of the NFL Alumni Academy, it is an elite in-season training program for NFL-ready players that is led by former National Football League coaches and players. Each season, the program has successfully placed players onto NFL rosters. The 2022 season will be the Academy's third season. This partnership might not seem like a big deal to some, yet I view it as another solid avenue in attracting talent for the league's player pool. These players are viewed as legitimate National Football League prospects who train in similar National Football League sessions, which prepare them for life as a professional football player. Then, on April 12th, the XFL announced the return of Dean Blandino. He will serve as the Vice President of Officiating and Playing Rules Innovation. In this role, Blandino will oversee officiating operations and develop innovative playing rules. Blandino will report to Russ Brandon and Mark Ross. Blandino has nearly 20 years of experience working in the National Football League's officiating department, where he began as an intern and ended his NFL tenure as the Senior Vice President of Officiating. XFL President of League and Football Operations Russ Brandon had the following to say about Blandino: "Dean has been the go-to name in professional and collegiate football officiating for over a decade. We have a rare opportunity to develop new, innovative rules for the league, and Dean's unique perspective and expert experience are integral to achieving that before we hit the field in 2023. During the 2020 XFL season, Blandino was the head of officiating, where he oversaw the identification of league officials and helped develop several rules and broadcast innovations, including faster gameplay, unique return to formation rules, as well as the shootout overtime tiebreaker. He was instrumental in the implementation and in-game functionality of the reimagined rules, as well as the XFL's forward-thinking replay system." Blandino spoke of his return to the XFL by saying, "Football is a dynamic and ever-evolving sport with increasing global appeal. From my time in the NFL through to the XFL, my focus has always been on bringing forward ideas and structure that can continue to support the game that we love and allow it to grow into the future. Football is my passion, and it's an exciting time to be a part of the XFL as they build a dynamic game that will appeal to fans and players. I was thrilled to join the league initially in 2019 and happy to be back alongside this incredible ownership and leadership group as we gear up for 2023. In my opinion, bringing back Blandino was a no-brainer. The XFL is a better league for having him involved." Then on April 13th, co-owners Danny Garcia and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson appeared as guests on ESPN's Get Up, hosted by Mike Greenberg, where they officially announced the XFL head coaches for the 2023. Here's a clip from the announcement.
We are back on Get Up, and as of next year, so will be the XFL. Relaunching in 2023, the league will offer fans a spring season to satisfy their football cravings, and they've attached some serious star power. We'll get to some of those stars in a moment, but let's take a look at the coaching stars they've put together. Wade Phillips comes to the XFL with 40-plus years of coaching experience, one of the great defensive minds of all time, and he was the head coach for 6 different NFL teams. Former Oklahoma coach Bob Stoops returns to the XFL. He's the winningest coach in Oklahoma history, won 191 games and a national championship. 14-year NFL veteran cornerback Terrell Buckley will be another of the coaches. The former Florida State star won the Jim Thorpe Award in '91 as the best defensive back in the country, was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2019. The next name is one you know. That's Steelers legend Heinz Ward coming to the XFL after a stint as wide receivers coach at Florida Atlantic. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He was the MVP of Super Bowl 40. And speaking of legends, Pro Football Hall of Famer Rod Woodson is another of the head coaches in the XFL. Played 17 years in the NFL, being named to the Pro Bowl 11 times and was the Defensive Player of the Year in 1993. So significant credibility amongst the coaches. And here are the 3 others. Reggie Barlow had a good career in the NFL. 11-year NFL tight end and former Jets first-round pick Anthony Becht is one of the coaches, and so is a longtime NFL head and assistant coach Jim Haslett. So those are the coaches.
Despite the announcement and previous rumors, the coaches were not assigned to cities. It saddens me that Bob Stoops is the only returning head coach from the 2020 season. Yet, I am encouraged of the mixture of the other 7 hirings. Having National Football League veterans such as Wade Phillips and Jim Haslett will provide proven methods. It will also provide an array of coaching styles and perhaps even unknown philosophies among the first-time head coaches such as Anthony Becht and Rod Woodson. Regardless of their coaching pedigree, each of them brings name recognition, something that the league desperately needs. A few hours later, both Danny Garcia and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson also made an appearance on ESPN's Sports Center, where the 8 new head coaches were mentioned again. In addition, the co-owners discussed the league, its vision, their process in selecting the head coaches. In essence, it was further exposure for the league to broaden its viewership reach. I know this is speculation, but I must say these ESPN appearances are setting the table for a highly potential broadcasting partnership announcement with ABC and ESPN. We will have to wait to see what happens. Also on April 13th, Fox 2 News confirmed that St. Louis is in the mix to host an XFL team. Here's a clip from Fox 2 News.
Fox 2 has confirmed the XFL has been in discussions with officials here about a potential return of Battlehawks football to St. Louis. Fox 2's Andy Banker has that story new at 10.
So the XFL announced head coaches today for the league's 8 teams to begin play in 2023. There's still no official word on which cities will host those teams, but we've confirmed St. Louis is certainly in the mix. Kitty Radcliffe, president of Explore St. Louis, which operates the Dome at America Center where the Battlehawks played in 2020, says St. Louis is interested in a Battlehawks return and has had discussions with the XFL. There is nothing definitive, but we're glad they are interested in us.
Clearly, a deal has not been secured. This, paired with likely other cities, could be the reason why the XFL is not ready to announce cities and teams. I know the fan base is frustrated, but news such as this should be encouraging that fan-favorite teams such as the Battlehawks are a good possibility to return in 2023. Then on April 15th, reports surfaced former St. Louis Battlehawks lineman Brian Wallace had passed away. Wallace was 26 years old. All good things must come to an end. This concludes another episode of Let's Talk XFL. As always, I am interested in receiving your feedback. So do not be a stranger. Reach out to let me know your thoughts, and if you do so, your comments might just make it on the show. But before you go, do not forget to subscribe and rate the show on your platform of choice. One last thing. If you're interested in checking out our friends over at Royal Retros by 503 Sports, do not forget to click on the link in the show's description and notes, as well as that sweet code, LETSTALKXFL, or 10% off your purchase. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, cheers.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. Don't forget to subscribe and rate Let's Talk XFL on your platform of choice. Follow Let's Talk XFL on Facebook and Twitter at Let's Talk XFL. Do you have a question or topic you would like to have addressed on the show? Message the show via social media or send an email to letstalkxfl@gmail.com.